this is Tim, and look at all Bay's medicine. A huge amount, more than I can possibly imagine, twice a day. Now, I've just been hacked for the second time in about 6 months, and in fact, I've been hacked twice today so far. Two Instagram sites have gone up claiming to be me with my photograph. And then when you go through them, they claim to be offering £1,000. The timing is interesting, of course. I may have my suspicions, indeed, about who is catfishing as me, and, as I say, incidentally, offering £1,000 reward if you follow this spurious account. So don't follow the spurious account. It's fake, and maybe there'll be other accounts like this coming up to replace the ones which are closed down. It's clearly this is a targeted campaign. I can't believe that I'm the centre of some sort of targeted fraud, but it is disturbing. Anyway, if you really want to follow what catfish are up to, then I suppose you only have to wait a few weeks before the next series of The Circle starts, and then I suppose you'll have hackers and catfish, and they can have as crazy a time as they want. Now, I noted that over the last few days there's been some trailers and adverts for the new show, for the new series of The Circle, and so it seems the right time to explain or to emphasise why I agreed to do Series 2 in 2019. It's quite a while ago back now, but I have terribly fond memories of doing that show. The show was presented to me as a form of friendship and as a tribute to friendship. People often pretend to be what they are not, but that doesn't make them necessarily bad people. There are many reasons why people do not always tell the truth. But when you look into someone's eyes, or in my case, when you try and draw them, the truth emerges, and you can see whether this person is a good person or not. And all the people that I met in The Circle in 2019, in that incredibly frantic month, all those people were absolutely lovely. Yes, I found that generally when I couldn't draw somebody, that was pretty good evidence that they were fake. So that would be my advice for anybody who wants to go on any future series and wants to identify catfish. But I don't think that was the aim of the game. I'm really proud. As a result of doing the show, I'm really proud that I continue to chat with James, otherwise known as Sammy and Charlie, as much as I do with other friends that I made in The Circle. It was never for me about risking everything in order to win £100,000. I really, I had no expectations of winning. I just wanted to keep the friendship going. I actually remember having a conversation with Woody about this. You remember Woody, of course. I think this was a conversation. I have to say that I haven't watched most of the television series at all. I think I watched I watched some of the first 4 episodes. I'm a dreadful sleeper when it comes to television. It's sort of narcolepsy takes over. Particularly if I'm enjoying something, I just go to sleep. And I thought, well, I already know what's going on in the show. I knew it even as I was involved in it. I really enjoyed the filming because I could imagine what was being edited at the same time. I just wanted, I just wanted to get through to a point where I was on the table and I would be I'd be there to see Woody and Ella and James win. Of course, I was wrong. I thought, I tried to explain to Woody at one point without giving away my promise to James that I wouldn't go off and start bad mouthing him, which I had no intention of doing. I liked James Sammy, but I wanted to let Woody know that he was being foolish, putting catfishing first, and and trusting all the wrong people, and there was a point in that conversation where I didn't really say what I was meaning to say, and I knew that Woody understood, and I thought, yeah, this demonstrates so many things. So often we put too much emphasis on words and we don't really pay attention to the sort of hidden communication, maybe you can call it a spiritual communication, which we all share. And if you don't pay attention to that, then you make very stupid mistakes, because most of the time people don't say what they mean. Most of the time people make a mess of what they say. They always say the wrong thing. I certainly do. I put my foot into it whenever it's at all possible. Words, bang. And so catfishing is secondary to keeping alive the spirit of the circle, that spirit of friendship. And way down the list for me was the idea of backstabbing or being suspicious of people, or indeed trying to win. So I think the new show from the adverts is going to be very, very different. And the publicity suggests that it will have much more of the flavour of the US show Survivor. If you want to see me discussing the US show Survivor, I do so every Tuesday, and I think there's a link on YouTube for that. So do come and join me on that. And I would like to extend that a little bit more to look further at the development of reality TV, which I think says a lot about the way we are living our lives at the moment. Reality TV, anyway, as we know, is not reality, but it is a very interesting confection, and it's a very interesting fantasy. But as with all fantasies, we have to make a distinction between fantasy and imagination. Imagination is something which is essentially creative, and we have a product that comes out of it. Fantasy is often a little bit self-indulgent. There may be something creative that comes out of it. We're thinking of the wonderful fantasies of Mary Poppins, Bedknobs and Broomsticks, which I think is going to be a new West End show, and Wizard of Oz, all those things. These are fantasies which become imaginary worlds, but fantasy in itself may be slightly different to imagination. It definitely is not the same as reality. It's sort of digested reality, pre-digested reality. Actually, my cats are quite interested in pre-digested food. Hannah, the older cat, is a great lover of food which looks as if it's not only been pre-digested, but it's already been used once. And some of it, and it smells to high heaven. Look, I've got to stop now, otherwise I'm going to go off on a diatribe about cat food. Have a lot of fun. And be careful.